Okay, welcome to another episode of Critical Weight Theory. And today I'm going to be talking about why we need some severe checks and balances in how our government functions. That is, if we want it to function at all in a sane and rational manner, and in a manner that allows for any semblance of equality and all that sort of stuff, accountability. So it's a pragmatic approach, really. Not a utopian vision, not a blood soaked revolution with hidden authoritarian ambitions, just a system that works for the many, not the few, and most importantly, a system that doesn't require anyone to be crushed in the process. Because when you strip away the ideological noise, the slogans, and the tribal instincts, what you're left with is a possibility of something surprisingly simple. We want power to serve, not to dominate. We want order, but not coercion. We want culture without supremacy. And most of all, we want fairness with no fine print. Unchecked power leads to abuse. History shows us that again and again, and it's really showing us that right now. And the idea of cultural or individual superiority, that's usually just a way to justify who gets to pull the strings and who gets strangled by them. And that doesn't mean we reject authority altogether in every single instance, in every variety and stripe and color. We need structure, we need leaders, we need systems of some kind. The question is, what form should they take? What we don't need is blind obedience or manufactured hierarchies built on race, gender, class, or, yes, geography. This isn't about burning it all down, it's about building better and building smarter. Wisdom and honesty. That's the combination we need to keep systems healthy and power in check, because even the best intentioned systems can be hijacked. People find loopholes, they exploit ambiguity, they find ways to make the game serve a handful while the rest of us play by rules we didn't even agree to. That's not just economics, that's psychology, that's leverage. And when a system uses people's obligations, their debt, their fear, their survival instinct as a way to keep them quiet, that's not order, that is coercion. So, what do we do? Well, we build in safeguards, we demand transparency, we set up systems that can evolve because corruption isn't static and neither is justice. This isn't just philosophy, it's maintenance. Democracy, real democracy, isn't self cleaning. We need regular updates, room for dissent, space to challenge the assumptions baked into our institutions. And yes, that means questioning the white, Western, male defaults that too often shape so supposedly neutral policies. Well, they're not neutral, and we're seeing with our very own eyes the ways in which they refuse to be neutral. So here's the heart of it. We can do this. We can build systems rooted in consent and not fear. We can shape a culture where people aren't forced to assimilate or disappear in order to belong. Voltaire said, "The perfect is the enemy of the good." That's why we aim for better, not perfect. We keep moving forward, we keep adjusting, not because we're idealists, but because we're realists who know that a fair system doesn't happen by accident. It takes effort, constant collective and conscious effort. So maybe the question isn't, can we fix the system? Maybe the question is, are we willing to keep it honest? Because honesty and accountability are the main ingredients for legitimacy.